I had my good friend Roger Mann over again to help me complete the last video for this series. We thought it would be fun to actually create a real-world song with lyrics, melody, and everything. So we've created a little small mini song for you here. And as usual, I'm going to describe the process we went through, and I've tried to include many of the principles that we've discussed throughout the videos. Now, when he came, I started off with this little 4-bar pattern just to kick things off. Now, you'll notice, I'll play it for you in a moment, but the first chord, I have C minor with a question mark here. I'm playing it with an electric guitar stand with open fifths, and there's no third in it. So it's not really major or minor, but a minor is sort of implied by virtue of the fact that it goes to E flat and B flat, and it's based on that E flat kind of pentatonic scale, which sort of a C blues scale kind of feel, which would lend itself towards C minor. So let me play you this little 4-bar pattern that I started with. So there's no third, it's got that power chord feel with those open fifths, and the harmony is deliberately ambiguous. Next thing we did was elongated it, and we needed a chorus to go to. So we came up with a chord progression. I came up with an idea for a chorus, but it sort of kind of works a little bit. It's a bit bland, it's not great. I'm going to play it for you just so you can see the process we went through. So it goes to B flat, and then up to E flat 7, and then back to the C minor. It's working, but not particularly inspiring. The next thing we did was we tried to rewrite it. Here's the next thing we came up with, and it's another version. It's an alternate progression. It didn't work much better. It wasn't very inspiring. Let me start from halfway through, and you can hear it. So it works. There's nothing wrong with either of these. It's just it wasn't particularly inspiring us. So the next thing we did was we tried going down to the G on the last chord of the chorus instead, but it still didn't seem to help much. We have that nice little punch, which we ended up keeping, but the whole thing is still a bit bland, or at least wasn't inspiring us. So we realized that the pattern that I was using, that I started with, sounded disturbingly familiar. It reminded us of an old 70s song called Free Ride. So what all songwriters do is, when this happens, it's inevitable that something's going to remind you or be the same as or similar to some other pattern or song. Just change a few notes to make it original. So we decided to change a few notes in the bass line and change it up a bit, and here's what we came up with. So now we're strongly implying the C minor harmony with these little run-ups on the 16th note, run up and down. So we're zeroing in now on where we're going. The next thing we did was this. We put the whole thing together. We refined the verse by making it F for a whole bar and G for a whole bar. And then we wrote a pre-chorus, a chord progression, to lead into the chorus, which we still weren't sure of yet. And Roger said, I have a great idea for the chorus. This is used all the time. And no surprise, it was our old friend 1564 in the relative major. So what Roger had instinctively come up with is exactly what we've been talking about in a lot of the earlier videos as a ubiquitous chord pattern that's used in all sorts of styles. So here's the whole thing. A whole bar of F and a whole bar of G. Repeat it now. Now leading to the pre-chorus. here's the chorus. So we jumped up to E flat, the relative major of C minor, and used 1-6-4-5. Now Roger also plays guitar, so we decided to add some real guitar on and really thicken it up. So he doubled the bass line on electric guitar in unison and an octave higher, and you'll hear in a moment that this kind of doubling really helps establish it as a hook element, that little da-ga-da-ga-da-da. Those things became real hooks now with weight added by the doubled and tripled guitar. He also played guitar for the pre-chorus and chorus as well and took a short solo after that. And we also tweaked the last couple of bars of the chorus. You'll hear it in a moment. So we're getting somewhere. We have a strong sense of direction now. Now the next thing we did was we had a mic set up and we had Roger just improvise some vocals on the spot. Now this is interesting because I want to play you the different versions that we went through. He just improvised, making up lyrics as he goes, had a rough idea for a story, but just making it up, stream of consciousness, get the ideas out, that kind of thing. So let me play you some of these ideas.
Somebody saw you just the other day, walking with him. You didn't know my best friend. He phoned me up, told me, oh, you lied, but I know you lied, but I told you so. You cut me to the bone. You cut me, now I'm all alone. You cut me, and I'm going home without you. Cut me to the bone.
So we have some nice stuff here. We refined the bass line. We left that open for 2 bars, and he improvised that vocal. Now I'm going to play you what we did after this is we tried to refine the verse. We kind of liked what he did for the chorus, and pre-chorus there even wasn't so bad, but we did several takes trying to refine the verse, and what's interesting is that he used all the things we described by phrasing words on different accents, moving them around, shifting syllables, that kind of thing. I'm going to play you what we came up with from the order we did it. Here's the first take, and this was the roughest.
Somebody saw you, couldn't believe it. You were there with him, my best friend, with my woman, having a good time. How long has it been?
So we wrote some lyrics, but they weren't fitting particularly well. Here's the next version that he came up with when he tried.
Couldn't believe it. Well, you were there with him. Oh, my best friend, with my woman, having a good time. How long has it been? No.
See, it wasn't working, but he kept trying different phrasing, and this is the important part of songwriting, to keep rewriting and trying things over and over again until they work. Here's the next take he tried.
Somebody saw you, I couldn't believe it. You were there with him, my best friend, with my woman, having a good time. How long has it been? You both laughing. No, I'm not dying inside. My heart wants to stop.
So it's getting better, but it's still not quite there. Here's the next take we did.
Somebody saw you. You were there with him, my best friend, with my woman. How long has it been? Were you both laughing? Well, you know I'm not dying inside. My heart wants to stop.
We like that heart wants to stop. It worked nicely with the rhythm section stopping. But here's the next stage we got to. We refined that and got the vocal that we cobbled together from all the various takes. So here's what we put together, and the final thing works nicely.
Somebody saw you, couldn't believe it. You were there with him, my best friend, with my woman. How long has it been? You lied to me. Are you laughing? You know not me. You cut me to the bone. You cut me, now I'm all alone. You cut me, and I'm going home without you. Cut me to the bone. Ooh, cut me to the bone. To the bone. Ooh, nah, yeah. Ah, to the bone, yeah.
So there's our little mini song. So we've got a couple of hooks happening here in a couple of different levels. We got that guitar and bass doubling this pattern on the verses, and that's a very catchy hook. And we got the classic hook device here of the first line of the chorus being the title of the song, Cut Me to the Bone. I think there's no doubt in anyone's mind at this point that the name of the song is Cut Me to the Bone, and that's the central hook of the whole thing. So we got that hook happening. We got the hook of this little verse, bass, and guitar line doubled. It's turning into a strong little song. Now, of course, it's not fully fleshed out. We need more verses and more choruses. But here you go, a little mini song from start to finish. I hope you've enjoyed these videos and learned a lot. And the one thing that I want you to take away from all these videos is keep writing. Don't be too self-critical. If your ideas aren't great, it doesn't matter. Put them down, move on, start again the next day. Your ideas are going to develop and get stronger over time. So keep writing. Don't be afraid to discard what you don't like, but also don't be afraid to hang on to what you don't like, because you might find useful in the future. Maybe in a week or two or a month, you might be working on a song and you might remember some little bit or fragment or idea or phrase of something you tried previously that you didn't like that might be useful. So keep writing and then writing some more, and keep rewriting. Don't be afraid to keep carving away at your piece till you get to the essence of what you want your song to be. Take chances, be bold, be creative, break the rules, make music. This is Eli Kranzberg signing out, wishing you all the best and success in your songwriting.